I'm Trish McFarland, President of the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce, and it is an honor to welcome you to our ATHENA Awards presentation. Thank you for taking the time to join us. We are wishing we could be together to celebrate Dr. Joy Gates Black and present this prestigious award in person, but we are thrilled that we are able to continue this honor and share the spirit of Athena. It is in our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. And that is just what an incredible group of past Athena recipients and women committee members helped us to do to bring this virtual program to you today. I'd like to recognize the committee. Cecile Charlton, Chair, Colleen Marone, Dana Riker-Jackson, Ellen Fisher, Kathy Cardillo, Nicole DeBaton-Robinson, Deanna Doan, and Jenna Kowarski. We also are extremely fortunate to have two boards of phenomenal individuals that continue to advance the mission of the Delaware County Chamber and the foundation for the Delaware County Chamber. Our chairman, Mike Rank, President and CEO of the Community Y of Eastern Delaware County, Peter Adamo, Chief Executive Officer of Crozier Health, Michele Garrity, External Affairs Manager for Delaware County for PICO, Amy Kate Brackenier, Vice President and Executive Director of Catholic Community Choir, Mike Brady, Financial Consultant, LPL Financial, Jeffrey Brandon, Senior Vice President and Regional Vice President for TD Bank, Jim Byrne, McNichol, Byrne, and Matlowski, James Burkhead, Director of Transportation Risk at NSM Insurance Group, Steve Byrne, the Executive Director of Visit Delco, PA, Kathy Judge Cardillo, Director of State Advocacy, Trinity Health, Carl Churkin, Vice President of Business Development for the Philadelphia Union, Sam Cohen, Senior Vice President, The Iron Shop, Nicole DeBaton-Robinson, Vice President of Operations for National Realty Corporation, Deanna Doan, owner of Click Canyon, Mark Ernst, Vice President and Chief Relationship Officer for Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, Brian Urey, Chief of Staff and Vice President of External Relations for Cabrini University, Jacqueline Gardner, the Chair of our Foundation and the Director of Client Relations and Pricing at Tomorrow's Utilities, Adam Gattuso, Government Affairs and Communications Leader for Monroe Energy, Grant Gegwich, who's our Vice Chair and the Director of Public Relations for Independence Blue Cross, Vince Gordon, President and CEO of Gordon Policy Group, Bill Gowie, Managing Partner of Bars Gowie, Amon and Bolts, Sue Heindel, Chief Administrative Officer of Essential, Joe McGinn Jr., Vice President of Public Affairs for Energy Transfer, Anthony Ryan, Senior Vice President and Director of Small Business Banking at WSFS Bank, Dominic Savino, CEO of Drexelbrook, and Bob Simpson, partner of Brinker Simpson. And I'd like to thank our foundation board, Jacqueline Gardner, who's the Chair, Director of Client Relations and Pricing at Tomorrow's Utilities, Ann Logan, our Vice Chair, Leadership Performance Coach at Vanguard, Peter Bars, partner at Bars Gowie, Amon and Bolts, Lou Coldemal, our solicitor at Mancini and Coldemal, Clara Burke, Assistant Vice President and Relationship Manager for Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, Troy Dennis, President and owner of Express Employment Professionals of Delaware and Chester County, Laura Casper, President and CEO of Monarch Staffing, Larry Setlin, owner of Setlin Design Group, Cecile Charlton, the past Executive Director of the Delaware County Transportation Management Association, Anton Delorfis, owner of Delightful Detail, Brent Doan, founder and CEO of Click Canyon, Dion Douglas from Kimberly-Clark, Patty Duffy, USA Payroll, Tom Garrigle, manager of Brinker Simpson, Ro Falcone, Director of Operations at EDSI, Karen Kasashian, Dean of Workforce Development and Community Education for Delaware County Community College, Donna Marandola, Director of Corporate Financial Services, AmeriHealth Caritas, Christy Purnell, Campus Diversity Lead Diversity Recruiting Strategy for Human Resources at Vanguard, and Mitch Steed, Vice President of Business and Professional Banking Team Leader at M&T Bank. Mike Morgan, our Chair Emeritus, who is a community coach and volunteer. While we are giving thanks, I'd like to recognize our sponsors. Kibo Biotech, Delaware County Community College, Independence Blue Cross, SAP, AmeriHealth Caritas, Aqua America, Bars, Gowie, Amen and Foltz, TD Bank, Trinity Health, Mercy Catholic Medical Center, Mercy Fitzgerald Campus, WSFS Bank, Crozier Health, Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, Trinity Health Mercy Home Health, and Trinity Health Mercy Life. Thank you for your continued support. At this time, I'd like to introduce our gold sponsor of today's ATHENA Leadership Lunch, Matthew Roberts, Product Marketing Director from Kibo Biotech.
Hello, my name is Matt Roberts, Product Marketing Director with Kibo Biotech. Kibo Biotech is proud to be a sponsor of this event. Kibo is celebrating its 23rd year today, and we are very excited to be a part of this organization and its mission. We are a worldwide leader in supplementation for dietary needs for people and for animals around the world. We've been primarily known for many years as a company working in renal health for kidney diseases. We're very proud to be launching new products this year that broaden out that focus. Our new product is Biomunity, and we look forward to debuting it to you in person in the coming weeks and months. We also have a cardio support product. These products are predicated on the research that we have done for over 2 decades in the area of the microbiome and its unique ability to support the body's immune system, where 70% of your body's immune system is headquartered. Kibo is an innovator. Kibo is a company that is committed to our community and to the health of our patients, our consumers, and their pet companions. We look forward to seeing you at upcoming events and to introducing more of our products and to having you learn more about how our products can play a meaningful role in your life, your health, and the health of your animal companions. Thank you very much.
Our keynote speaker today has been committed to empowering and advancing women as well. Leslie Richards is the 11th General Manager of Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, SEPTA, the 6th largest public transportation agency in the U.S. She oversees a budget of more than $2 billion and 9,500 employees. Prior to being named General Manager, Ms. Richards served as the first woman secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, one of the largest and most innovative transportation agencies in the U.S. With an annual budget of more than $10 billion and over 11,000 employees. As secretary, Ms. Richards made her mark on the department by ensuring the long-term success of Pennsylvania's multimodal transportation needs through sustainable infrastructure and innovative investments. She worked to improve efficiencies to meet funding challenges, broaden the planning and project development process to consider input from all stakeholders through the collaborative PennDOT Connects initiative, and build a diversified workforce that is prepared to solve 21st century transportation challenges. Richards prioritized diversifying PennDOT, a mission she intends to keep at SEPTA, with her own milestones as a burgeoning leader in the male-dominated field of transportation, earning her titles like Woman of the Year, Female Innovator of the Year, and Female Executive of the Year. We are thrilled to welcome Leslie Richards, our keynote speaker, to our luncheon today.
Good afternoon and virtual greetings to all of you. I'd like to thank everyone at Kibo for the warm introduction. I'm Leslie Richards, the General Manager of SEPTA, and I'm honored to speak to you today, even if it can't be in person. Thank you, Trish McFarland, President of the DCCC, and the members of the Chamber for inviting me to be part of this event. I love honoring other women. I also want to acknowledge my friend and fellow transportation promoter, Cecile Charlton, chair of the ATHENA Award program. Most importantly, congratulations to Delaware County Community College President, Dr. Joy L. Gates Black, this year's recipient of the ATHENA Award. What's particularly impressive to me about Dr. Black is how she has demonstrated true leadership in this time of COVID and racial unrest. She met these issues head-on, navigating challenges of online hybrid classes, creating a Center for Equity and Social Justice, and the college is participating in a national effort to retrain workers impacted by COVID-19. Delaware County Community College was recently recognized as a great college to work for the 11th consecutive year by the Chronicle of Higher Education. It's only one of 79 institutions to achieve that honor. Pretty impressive, Dr. Black. I have a great appreciation for what Dr. Black has been able to do because I also have faced many challenges related to COVID and racial injustice in my role at SEPTA. I was a former Montgomery County Commissioner as well and loved working with our community college, and so I have also a great respect for the students and the work that is done at community colleges everywhere. Right now, we are in difficult times. We're dealing with issues that impact people's lives very deeply. And as leaders, we have responsibilities and obligations to the men, women, husbands, wives, fathers, mothers, and those who come to work every day. We have experienced heartbreaking loss as 7 members of the SEPTA family have passed away from COVID-19. I can tell you that you think very differently about the decisions you make when you talk to the family members of those who have passed. It becomes very personal. At the start of every COVID call with my GM team, we observe a moment of silence for those employees who died. We can never lose sight of the fact that we are responsible for the lives of those who come to work at SEPTA every day. I recently participated on a panel with Shelley Cameron, CEO of the Philadelphia International Airport, and Yasmin Gramian, Secretary of PennDOT, on innovation and crisis. As women leaders, each of us recognize that during these times that are so difficult, emotionally wearing, and physically exhausting, that our approach needs to be one of empathy and compassion. We need to see that single mom who is a cleaner for work and comes to work every day because she needs that paycheck, even though she's juggling young kids at home who are now trying to do school virtually. We need to hear that father-to-be when he tells you he's terrified to come to work and he's worried that he may bring the virus home to his wife who's pregnant with their first child. As leaders, we have to listen, and we also have opportunities to make big change. I had the honor of being the 25th PennDOT secretary, but I was the first one who looked like me. I was the first female to be in that role. I was referred to as a he in every piece of documentation, so we changed it and went to gender-neutral language. I got to make people aware of human trafficking. I got to make sure the panels that I accept to speak on also have diverse perspectives, as well as mentoring other young women so that they could see what it means to be a leader, that it's not as hard as they might think it is, that they know that they have the support and the resources that they need to step into these roles. Right now, we're all experiencing hard times, and we're all trying to figure it out. But these challenges also bring opportunities, which is great because, to be honest, I didn't join SEPTA to run a transportation agency. While that is part of my job, it's not why I'm here. I came to SEPTA because I knew my role at the authority would allow me to create opportunities for greater equity and to help people. At SEPTA, my team and I really try to make equity the focus of everything we do. We are working to evaluate every aspect of our business through an equity lens and look at how we can achieve growth, always with an eye toward inclusivity. Our first significant opportunity was in June, already several months into the pandemic, when the SEPTA board approved a fare restructuring plan. We knew that circumstances had changed dramatically for many of our riders with the pandemic. Many weren't working, and some had already been laid off. We reevaluated our original plan and adjusted it, implementing free transfers and discounted $1 child fares. We deferred increases until at least January of next year. Those measures really help our low-income riders and families and keep us focused on equity, affordability, and ease of travel for our customers. When we conducted our first ever virtual fare hearings, we welcomed comments by phone and email in 3 different languages, ensuring greater inclusivity than ever before. As organizations around the world navigate the pandemic, SEPTA's employees continue to be essential, making sure others are able to get to life-sustaining jobs. We knew that we owed it to our employees to keep them and their families safe. We provided them with personal protection, such as masks, gloves, sanitizers, but we also teamed up with the Black Doctors COVID-19 Consortium to bring them free COVID testing at various SEPTA locations. The partnership provided an additional benefit. It enabled the consortium to devote additional resources to testing in the communities that SEPTA serves. As we've found our stride through COVID, we've made sure we're offering mental health support, self-care resources, as well as parental leave. We created a memorial fund to help the families of the SEPTA employees who died from COVID, and we're creating a tribute wall to honor our frontline heroes. There have been many dire moments during my 9 months at SEPTA. At the same time, we are all struggling with the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. We witnessed horrific events that exposed painful realities about race and equality. After the murder of George Floyd and so many others, the Black community across our nation was in incredible pain, and they continue to be. We knew this was a moment we needed to seize. We had to commit to looking at ourselves as an organization and seeing ourselves for what we really are, not what we always hoped we were. I personally promised to evaluate our organizational processes and address systemic issues to work towards racial equity. It was the right thing to do, but that was the easy part. We grappled with where to start and how to be impactful. We felt pressure to move quickly, but we needed to act thoughtfully. We created a council focused on diversity, equity, and belonging, and I'm so heartened and encouraged by the response from our employees to join and be part of it. We continue to identify ways to foster an environment of diversity, inclusion, and acceptance. We are establishing workplace employee resource groups, hosting courageous conversations on racial equity, and developing programs to address race and equity. We have work ahead of us, but I'm so grateful for all of those at SEPTA who are working to promote a culture of respect and fairness that allows all of us to thrive within SEPTA. As hard as this job is, and believe me, there are some days that are very, very hard, I'm grateful and thankful every day I get the chance to lead a group of people who care and who are committed to each other and to our mission of providing safe, reliable travel to our customers. We are collaborating with the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce and chambers and businesses across the region to help them prepare for the near-term travel needs. Looking to the future, SEPTA is reevaluating every aspect of our business, identifying opportunities for continued improvement and innovation. SEPTA will be prepared to meet the needs of our employees, riders, and the region, no matter what the future brings. Before I close, I did want to mention one thing Dr. Black and I have in common. Our employees love working for our organizations. I'm proud to report that SEPTA was recently ranked number 5 on Forbes' list of best employers in the state. We're both doing something right. Thank you again, Trish, for your leadership and for the important programming of the Chamber to support and promote other women leaders. Thanks to the Chamber members, sponsors, and supporters for their partnership and all they do to promote transportation and economic growth in the region. And most importantly, thank you for all you do to support and promote women as leaders and innovators. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Leslie. We appreciate you sharing your story and taking time to be with us today. We would now like to take a moment to hear from our silver sponsors of the ATHENA Award, Independence Blue Cross and SAP. Hello, I'm Susan Larkin, Senior Vice President of Health Markets for Independence Blue Cross. Independence is proud to be part of the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce. As a Delaware County resident, I know the outstanding job the Chamber has done during the pandemic to support the business community here. We are also proud to support the ATHENA Awards. This outstanding event has recognized many amazing female leaders over the years. Our congratulations go to Dr. Joyce Gates Black, this year's well-deserved honoree. Encouraging diversity and inclusion, which includes empowering female leaders, is one of Independence's most important corporate values. We are proud to have a diverse workforce, and our organization is committed to understanding and reflecting the diversity of the communities we serve. That's one of the reasons why Forbes named us one of America's best employers in Pennsylvania. And the Philadelphia Inquirer named us one of its 2020 top workplaces. The past 6 months have been difficult for everyone. I hope that you are staying healthy and that your families and your businesses are coping. Our company's mission is to enhance the health and well-being of the people and the communities we serve. This has never been more relevant or important than during COVID-19. Independence has worked to support our members and our customers during the pandemic. We've made it as easy as possible for our members to get the care they need, including waiving member cost for COVID-19 testing and care through 2020. Expanding coverage for telemedicine services. We've reached out to those in need, making proactive calls to our at-risk members, offering enhanced mental health services. We've also offered financial support to our clients, including premium credits and rebates and new payment options. As our CEO, Dan Hilferty, always says, we believe that healthcare is a right, not a privilege. As we head into the open enrollment for our commercial and Medicare members, we hope that we can continue to support you, your employees, and your families. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the Chamber members. And congratulations again to Dr. Joyce Gates Black for receiving this year's ATHENA Award. We are honored to have Cecile Charlton, our 2003 ATHENA recipient and chair of the ATHENA Committee, to share what it means to be an ATHENA.
Thank you, Trish. For over 30 years, the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce has identified at least one local ATHENA recipient annually. The ATHENA program has become part of the Chamber's values and history. The ATHENA Leadership Award, named for the strong, enlightened goddess, the award would go to individuals who excelled in their professions, given back to the community, and helped raise up leaders, especially women. Before we move ahead to our 2020 recipient, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge all of the past ATHENAs. Dr. Sandra Cornelius, Dr. Frances Carter, Louise Naismith, Lorraine McGlynn, the Honorary Marianne Arty, Barbara Ann Zippy, Teresa Heinz, Ellen Fisher, Kathy Robson, Susan Garrison, Esquire, Dr. Rosalie Miranda, Dr. Lillian Meyer, Cheryl Cunningham, Alice Strine, Esquire, Carol Gertzel, Sally Holub, Tricia Cofield, Jane Garrison, Joan Richards, Marianne Grace, Margaret Quo, Barbara Denzi, Linda Durant, Michelle Daly, Dana Riker Jackson, Nicole DeBaton Robinson, Colleen Marone, Jennifer Morgan, Kathy Judge Cordillo, Danielle McNichol, and Joanne Craig. Hopefully, you were able to meet one of these extraordinary women earlier this afternoon during the networking portion of our program. It brings me great pleasure not only to be part of this prestigious group of women, but also to be part of acknowledging a member of our community who embodies the ATHENA leadership qualities: professional excellence, community service, and actively assisting women in their attainment of professional excellence and leadership skills. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Mike Rank, the Executive Director of the Community Y, to introduce the 2020 ATHENA recipient.
Thank you, Cecile. Good afternoon, everyone. As Cecile said, my name is Mike Rank, and I am the current chair of the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce Board. I'm also the president and CEO of the Community YMCA of Eastern Delaware County. I also serve in many different volunteer capacities in the community, including on the Board of Trustees at Delaware County Community College. I am both thrilled and honored today to introduce this year's ATHENA Award winner, Dr. Joy Gates Black. Dr. Gates Black was unanimously selected to be the 4th president of Delaware County Community College and the first African-American woman to head the institution. As a leader in our community, Dr. Gates Black currently serves on a number of boards, including the Chester County Economic Development Council, the Riverfront Alliance of Delaware County, and the Foundation for Delaware County. She also is chair of the Collegiate Consortium for Workforce and Economic Development, a nonprofit organization consisting of 5 regional community colleges and Drexel University, which is in close partnership with businesses and industry to provide customized education and training services to regional employers who are seeking highly qualified and highly skilled workforce. Since becoming Delaware County's president, the Philadelphia Business Journal featured Dr. Gates Black as one of the 12 change agents who set high standards and are not afraid to take bold action to help students achieve their educational goals in the greater Philadelphia area. Dr. Gates Black had testified before the Pennsylvania House Democratic Policy Committee regarding the importance of workforce development training to meet the acute skilled labor needs of our regional manufacturers. She has received a Woman of Achievement Award from the Delaware County Women's Commission, the 2017 Maury Cotter Leader of Change Award from the Network for Change and Continuous Innovation. She has served as a commissioner for the American Association of Community Colleges, and in July 2019 became the director of that organization, which represents the nation's 1,051 community colleges. She has also spoken at numerous conferences on the topic of transformational leadership in higher education. In just 3 short years as president of Delaware County Community College, some of the accomplishments Dr. Gates Black has made are: led in the identification and subsequent purchase of a property for a new campus location, collaborated in the successful negotiation of a new 5-year faculty union contract, restructured the senior leadership team to increase effectiveness and efficiency. As a result of retirements at the college, recruited, hired, and/or elevated 8 leadership positions to vice president. Additionally, she has hired a chief information officer and a chief of staff. She signed an articulation agreement with Newman University that enables the university's students to go through Delaware County's Police Academy as part of their studies. She signed an agreement with Westchester University that will allow the university to offer 3rd and 4th year of their bachelor's degree in business on Delaware County's campus. She signed an agreement with Westchester and Drexel universities that enables students to take coursework toward their bachelor's degree in nursing while simultaneously taking courses in their associate's degree in nursing, thereby reducing the amount of time to complete both degrees. She's commissioned and completed an economic impact study for the college. She's led in the development of a new employee recognition program, and she's led the development and implementation of a staff development and succession planning tool for our college. And I have to tell you, there's much more to come. So I think it's clear to see that Dr. Gates' Black leadership in creating a path for students to thrive and have more opportunities at Delaware County Community College is evident. So Joy, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Delaware County Community College, I want to extend our heartfelt congratulations, and I would ask everyone today to please join me in welcoming our 2020 ATHENA Award recipient, Dr. Joy Gates Black.
Let's start over. All right. Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everyone. It is such an honor to have been nominated and selected to receive the ATHENA Leadership Award and to play a role in helping other women to achieve their personal and professional goals. I want to thank the award committee for seeing me as someone worthy for this honor. I also want to thank my Delaware County Community College family for their support and their commitment to the success of our students and our communities. And lastly, I want to thank my husband, Dilette, for his support of all that I do or I attempt to do. The ancient Greeks revered the goddess Athena as patron of wisdom, olives, weaving, and battle. And in these four distinct areas, I see the reflection of what I strive to do for the college and for the community. The wisdom to know that everyone deserves equal access and opportunity. The extension of the olive branch to bring us all together during a critical moment in our history. The weaving of people from all ethnicities and backgrounds to make the tapestry of our communities even stronger. And a resilient spirit to fight for what is just and fair. My resilient spirit was forged by a long line of women. My grandmother was the glue that held everything together in our family, providing a quiet, loving, yet strong foundation. And my mother embraced that strength to live a life in service to others. She was the first African-American city councilwoman, mayor pro tem, and chairperson of the chamber in my town. She worked as the custodial supervisor for the school district. And when she retired, she got her substitute teaching certificate and served as a substitute teacher until the age of 83. And even now, she is still an active member of her community. My life experiences put me on a path of service to others as well. And it is for that reason that I chose to go into the field of education. By helping others, we create a stronger community, a community that is empowered to continue to make changes that help others to succeed and grow. My journey to becoming a college president would not have been possible without the help of other women and men who saw my potential and endeavored to help me realize that potential. People like Floyd Scott, who knew that although I could run track, I also had a love of the arts. People like Dr. Ron Wright, who taught me to do the right thing for the right reasons all the time. People like Dr. Wright Lassiter, who taught me that the largest room in my house should always be the room for improvement. And Irma Johnson Hadley, who taught me that any successes that I achieve are contingent upon the success of my community. These amazing leaders poured their wisdom into my life so that I would be able to help others achieve their goals. When I reflect upon what the ATHENA Award stands for and all of those before me who have received this award, I am proud to be a part of another long line of strong, confident women who continue to pass on their knowledge, their expertise, and perhaps most importantly, their fighting spirit to a new generation of women who will lead the world of the future. Thank you again.
Congratulations, Dr. Gates-Black. We are so grateful for the inspiration you provide. I'd like to welcome our sponsor, Delaware County Community College, to join us and share a few words.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Kazachin, Vice President for Workforce and Economic Development at Delaware County Community College. On behalf of the college's administration, I'd like to extend my congratulations to Joy. It is an honor that is so well deserved. The college has a long history of relationships with our employers. Let me share a few numbers with you. Each year, more than 75 students join our employers through internships and co-op activities that allows them to experience a workforce environment that they are preparing to enter in the upcoming months and years. And it also allows them to earn college credit. Approximately 200 employers serve on our many advisory boards. And it's through these advisory boards that we are ensuring that we are preparing our students with the relevant skills that are needed by our regional workforce. Last year, over 300 graduates were placed in full-time jobs at regional employers. More than 18 companies support the college through scholarships that's so important for our students' success. 125 companies participated in our job fairs, open houses, and career panels. Also last year, 404 local employers registered for our online job board and posted more than 650 jobs. Finally, each year, dozens of employers reach out to the college in search of education and training through our corporate college. With that, I'll turn it over to Frank Agavino, our Director of Corporate College. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you, Dr. Gates-Black, for your leadership during these unprecedented times, and congratulations on your well-deserved ATHENA Award. My name is Frank Agavino, and I'm the Director of the Corporate College at Delaware County Community College. While the Corporate College brand is relatively new, the work of providing timely, quality, customized training for businesses is not new at all. In fact, for a generation, Delaware County Community College has been assisting employers build a more skilled workforce with a well-earned reputation as a regional leader in technical and advanced manufacturing training. This remains more true than ever, but with the new corporate college, we have targeted many more resources for small and large businesses, with a focus on essential skills such as leadership and supervisory training, lean training for any industry, computer training, and presentation skills, just to name a few. Yes, the times have changed, and our clients are no longer predominantly manufacturers, but come to the college from a variety of industries such as healthcare, insurance, sales and marketing, legal, and others. The flexibility of the corporate college allows us to provide quality and affordable training at our location or yours any day or time with some of the best subject matter experts in the area, all with safety in mind. And during these challenging times, the corporate college has adapted and can deliver virtually all training in an online or hybrid format. For more information and a catalog of offerings, as well as Pennsylvania grant opportunities, please email us at training@dccc.edu. Thank you.
Live authentically. Learn constantly. Advocate fiercely. Act courageously. Foster collaboration. Build relationships. Give back. And celebrate. Thank you for helping us do this today in the spirit of Athena. We ask that you continue to support the Delaware County Chamber as we pursue what excellence means in today's environment, and invite you to join our list of tremendous partners that allow us to continue. Keybo Biotech, Delaware County Community College, Independence Blue Cross, SAP, AmeriHealth Caritas, Aqua America, Bars, Gowie, Amen and Foltz, TD Bank, Trinity Health, Mercy Catholic Medical Center, Mercy Fitzgerald Campus, WSFS Bank, Crozier Health, Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, Trinity Health, Mercy Home Health, Trinity Health, Mercy Life. We look forward to seeing you at our next event and encourage you to reach out to learn how you can assist in our quest to build an inclusive and thriving economy in Delaware County. Dr. Joy Gates-Black, Leslie Richards, thank you both for being with us this afternoon virtually. And I appreciate you. I know you're both so very busy. So we're just going to take some time and ask some questions. And I'm going to invite our participants to put any questions you may have in the Q&A or the chat. And I will try to address them if we have a few minutes here. So I do have a couple of questions ready to go until we hear from our participants. But my first question for you both is, during this past 7 months, I know we could write a book on the challenges that we have all faced, but has there been one pivotal positive moment that has kind of impacted you personally or professionally?
I'll let the ATHENA Award winner go first.
Okay. I would have to say at the very beginning of the pandemic, this happened about the time our college was on spring break. And so coming back and having to move quickly to move all of our courses to an online modality and to support our students, helping them to get the computers and the mobile hotspots and all the things that they needed to be able to continue their instruction. I wasn't surprised, Trish, by any stretch of the imagination, because it truly is a wonderful place to work and everyone enjoys being there. But the level of support and can-do spirit, no one questioned why we were doing the work. It's how do we make it happen? And I think that was so gratifying for me to see that it's the right thing to do, and we're doing it because it's the right thing to do, and that's the only thing that mattered.
Yeah, I had the extra challenge of starting this job in January.
Oh my goodness.
I keep saying that when you say 9 months, and I'm like, we're 7 months into this. Poor Leslie.
Right. So as I say, today I was with our chairman of the board, and I said this wasn't really exactly where we had hoped to be, right, or what we thought we would be working on together when we met in January, and we kicked things off here. So getting to know my senior team under very extraordinary circumstances and challenging circumstances, and figuring out as when any new leader comes on board, how we best work together, right? We are a true team. And while we're made up of individuals, it's really important for us all to have the same mission and all to have the same goals so that we can work together in the best way possible. And so getting to know them very quickly, obviously dealing with emergencies as we dealt with this pandemic that was just changing so rapidly around us, and making sure that essential workers could get to where they needed to be so all of us could be healthy and safe, right? And dealing with the uncertainties and the anxieties of coming to work. And we had thousands of employees who had to come to work every single day. They could not do their jobs. You cannot obviously operate a bus, a train, a subway from home. And also dealing with, children who all of a sudden weren't in school and didn't have activities to be occupying them where they needed to be. So just getting to know everybody very quickly, all agreeing that, while we're in the transportation business, we are truly in the people business. It's the people who work for us, the people who we are our customers, and the region, and how we can best serve them as well. So we all got together, we figured out ways to communicate, we tried new things, we changed things. Working from home all of a sudden became acceptable. We considered everything, and I think one of the most important things we learned is that we would make the best decisions with the information we had in front of us. And when we realized that maybe that wasn't the best decision, we did an absolute turnaround and revised that decision. And I think that freedom with us moving forward, really allowed us to respond in the best way possible that we needed, and letting everyone know that we are in this together, not only with our employees, but with our riders, and we are doing the best we can every single day.
Trish, one of the things that Leslie said in her during her keynote about all that we have seen happen in this year, the civil unrest, the pandemic, the recession, the homeschooling, all of these things happening. This was like a perfect storm. And I recall as we started out this school year in August, and of course, everything was virtual, and I'm talking to the college community as well. One of the things we said is, we didn't think we could get to this point, but we've hit our stride, and we're working and managing. As you said, Leslie, recognizing what works and continuing that, and if something doesn't work, changing that as well. But the bottom line is we have managed to get through. And so my hope is as we go through this and we have a post-COVID environment, that we will use and take what we've learned while we were in this environment and overlay that over our practices before COVID to see where can we learn? What have we learned in this process so that we don't go back to just overlay where we were before COVID. That's important, to use the time we've had this last 7 or 9 months as a learning opportunity. And as we move forward, use that learning, apply that learning.
Absolutely. You both touched on something so important, and I'm going to go to Leslie's remarks as well, that both of your organizations have been named top places to work for your employees. And that doesn't just happen. That happens with tremendous top leadership. Can you highlight any of the things that are in place that you do to make your organizations the great place they are?
Yeah, well, it's so important to listen, right, to your employees, especially at this time right now, where people are anxious, right? They're unsure. They're worried about their safety, but it's not just their own safety; it's the safety of their families, those they share their household with. Whether they're taking care of elderly family members, whether they have young children that live with them now, or people they care for who they can't see right now because they can't travel and they can't get together. And so it's acknowledging that. It's acknowledging that what we're living through right now, no one has ever experienced before. And it's admitting that and knowing that that makes us all vulnerable. But no one could ever know how to navigate this pandemic because, as I said, we are all experiencing this for the first time. And it's sharing that. It's sharing, the uncertainty. It's sharing that, again, we are all doing the best that we can every single day. And that means something different than it did back in January and February and how we measured, those metrics. And, I love what Joy said just now as well. We are re-examining every single piece of our business and to make sure that it's the right thing that we should be doing right now because the world has changed around us. And it's including our employees in those decisions. We started an internal email here to give me ideas and to give our senior team ideas, because we have thousands of employees on the ground who are seeing things, and we will consider everything. And if they see a way that we can do things better right now, here in 2020, we want to consider them. And again, making everybody feel part of this. No one person can come up with every good idea themselves. And I always say I may not always come up with the best ideas, but I can recognize a good idea.
That's right.
And so that's what we want in front of us. And again, making sure that everyone feels included.
Thank you.
For us, Trish, I think it really, in addition to what Leslie was saying, but it was also about communication. I think that has played a key role for us. And when I say communication, I mean authentic communication. Because authentic communication builds trust within your organization. If you say you're going to do something, then you have to be willing to make sure that you do that, and you carry that forward. Again, the transparency in the institution, letting people know, what I think, how I'm doing in this pandemic, and really encouraging them to take care of themselves as well. I think that's the most important thing, is letting people know that you're not perfect. You're not going to get it right all the time, and that's okay. But be willing to try new things, because that's how you learn. That's how you grow. And then make sure that you applaud the successes of others and acknowledge the great work that others are doing. Truly, I'm able to be here today, but it's because of the great work of the faculty and staff at the college. That's really how we are able to meet the needs of our students.
That's fantastic. We do have a question from our participants, and I'm going to kind of phrase it a little bit different because I want to hear from both of you, but this was specifically for Joy, asking if you could share a little bit about the new Center for Racial Inequity and Social Justice. But when Joy's finished, Leslie, I know that you are implementing so many new things surrounding that. So if you can just touch on some of the great work that you're doing as well, but we'll start with Dr. Joy Gates-Black. Thank you.
All right. The college has long been involved and had a council for diversity, a diversity committee at the college. And so that's been happening for many, many years in terms of programming around diversity, equity, and inclusion within the college campus. But we knew that we needed to do more in that vein. Last November, or a year ago, we hired the person last November, it's almost a year now. We hired a Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer to help us to expand that work beyond the committee and engage the broader sector of the college community. And so that person has been really active in helping us do that. Now you fast forward to all of the civil unrest that we have seen in this country. And that really propelled us to think about what is it that we can do as the community's college to be a convener, to bring people together to have conversations about these difficult topics. Because colleges and universities have long been those places where, students would come to explore new ideas and to talk about controversial topics, all with the goal of becoming better citizens when they leave the college. We wanted to share that experience, not just in the college community, but also to engage our broader community in these conversations. So we established the Center for Equity and Social Justice as a means of convening our communities, and that's the college community as well as the broader community in Delaware and Chester counties, to have these conversations about those difficult topics in a way that allowed people to reflect upon it, create greater dialogue and conversation perhaps after the session, and ultimately lead perhaps to transformational change. And so we've done a couple of those. In July, we held our first forum on community policing. And then just last month, September, we talked about race in our communities. And it's beginning. We're not done with those conversations. We're beginning to have those conversations because they're needed. It is a way, the only way for us to grow as a community is to have conversations about sometimes what are uncomfortable topics. but we're all committed to making the world a better place. So how do we get there? It's by taking the time and seeking to understand each other.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to hear what you're doing there and providing the safe environments to really have these very difficult conversations that can be quite awkward at times, obviously raw and difficult, and just letting people know that they can be very honest and again talk about these difficult feelings as well as situations, and make sure that everybody's input will be welcomed and people don't have to be worried about how they say it even.
Yeah.
The first thing we did here at SEPTA is I went to the board right away because we wanted to make big steps that would lead to lasting change here at SEPTA, and I needed to know that the board was fully behind us in doing so. And I'm thrilled that we got 100% support from the board. We went ahead with partnerships such as the Black Doctors COVID-19 Consortium, where we give testing for COVID-19 to all of our transit workers here. And by doing so and paying for that, we then allow them to go out into our communities and provide testing as well as medical and get them connected to the medical community, which they may not be at this time. We've also strengthened our partnership with the Mural Arts, who have same-day pay program, who help us beautify our stations and our platforms in our system, and also provide work for those experiencing homelessness, drug addiction, and have some mental health challenges, helping them get back on their feet. Internally, we have a new committee that's based around diversity, equity, and belonging. I'm thrilled that we had over 80 people apply to be on that committee, and we're going through interviews right now to get the best committee possible and also figure out other ways that our employees can be very active. We've started an open book discussion. We've chosen a book that deals with racial issues. It's done in a fictional way, but it will allow us to talk about a lot of discussions in a safe way and let everybody feel included. We've also had town halls around very difficult conversations, and we will continue to do that. And then I'll end on our climate survey, which is so important. Asking everybody, what is it like for them to be working at SEPTA? How do they feel? What do they think may be missing? What are we doing right? Dr. Joy Gates-Black mentioned that it's communication, and a big part of that communication is listening. I don't pretend to have all the answers. And so to listen and hear where our employees feel and how they feel about their work will really help us decide on what the next steps are. And I agree again, what Joy said, this is just the beginning of a long conversation that will lead to systemic and lasting change for all of us.
Just truly amazing words from both of you that this is just the beginning, and having those authentic and raw conversations and admitting that we don't know the answers is so powerful. And just starting to have that and starting to say, it's okay that we don't know, but let's figure this out together. We are truly grateful for the leadership that you're both providing in your organizations, because that's just going to trickle out to the community and the region, and we're all going to get better together, as it were. As we do these virtual events, we're never sure how they will unfold. Personally, I could have this conversation all day. Having Leslie and Joy here this is just amazing. But I want to be respectful of your time. I know you're very busy, so I would thank you. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. Leslie, I appreciate your time and you sharing your keynote speech and your philosophy with SEPTA, and having you here with the Chamber is amazing. And Dr. Joy Gates-Black, congratulations. We will do something when we can be in person and present the award to you. But thank you for allowing us to present this award to you and for being our Athena recipient. Well deserved, for sure. We are just so grateful for you both spending time with us this afternoon. And we're grateful to all of you for tuning in and checking out our virtual Athena Awards event. These times are uncertain for sure, but one thing is certain, that we have amazing folks here in Delaware County and the region that support the Chamber of Commerce, so we can support all of you. So thank you again for taking the time to be with us this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in person soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Leslie,
so much.
thank you.
And thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Take care.